welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara An, and this is my get ready with me video. This one is going to be different because I'm going to talk about my experience as a bride of my wedding. And since my husband and I were going to celebrate our 5-year anniversary this weekend on the Saturday, I'm going to use my Clinique. This one is the Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, and it has a pump, which is great. It makes it much more easier for me, and I'm just going to pump out like 4 little pumps. I don't know if you guys can tell. That sound was my air conditioner. I'm sorry. So I'm not going to use a primer because I don't have a primer. The foundation I'm going to use right now is the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and it's a semi-matte, so it's not a complete matte, and it's beautiful. Okay, I'm using it with a wet beauty blender. I have everything right here, so if I'm looking down, it's because I have a chair. I don't have a table. My husband and I, we've been together for 8 years, close to 9 years, with how I met my husband. Okay, so the way we met was, I'm going in the back of my hand, okay, so it's kind of hard to talk. I can talk and I can put makeup, but it's so hard because I need to look in front of the camera too. Okay, so anyways, I'm just gonna put it in the back of my hand, and I make a little line right here. My friend at the time, she asked me, hey Barbara, do you want to go to a party? And I'm like, okay, what kind of party is it? And she's like, oh, it's like a barbecue party. She was like, her boyfriend at the time, because she's not with him anymore, and he was celebrating his birthday, and he just wanted to throw like a, you know, like a casual birthday party, but it was like a barbecue party. So anyways, long story short, my friend's boyfriend asked my husband, at the time they were just friends, hey, do you want to give Barbara a ride? She needs one. And he's like, yeah, I'll give her a ride. He was really nice too. So anyways, he gave me a ride home, and then he asked for my phone number. You know, obviously when you're dating, you know, to find your Prince Charming, and there was a lot of frogs. You know, it's like you have to go through a lot of datings before you go find, you know, like your match. Like on the first date, he made sure that I knew that it was serious with him. So I did, hopefully I did my first layer. Because I'm trying to concentrate on the stories and also like chatting with you guys, but also doing my makeup. What happened was that he called me at home. He said, okay, I'm gonna pick you up. He picked me up on time. I was the one being late, as always, because I'm a girl, and you know how it is, you have to get ready. So anyways, like we're doing right now, I go downstairs, I go to his car, obviously, and I go open the door to the passenger seat, and it was late at night, so you couldn't even see. You know how when it's late at night you can't see stuff. He has bought me a bouquet of red roses, and yeah, that was like the first bouquet he gave me. And then I thought that was very sweet, you know. And then after there, we went to pick up my friend's boyfriend at his job, and that's where we hold hands for the first time. Every time we go to Costco here in Los Feliz, we always reminisce. We always say, remember when you hold my hand for the first time, love? I always say that to him. So anyways, that's where we hold our hands for the first time at Costco, because that's where his friend used to work. Afterwards, we went to my friend's work, and it's like I want to concentrate on the story, how we met. And then I'm going to apply concealer, okay? And I'm using the Naked Skin from Urban Decay. Yeah, this one is in medium neutral. I'll have the list down below in the description box, so that way I can concentrate on the stories that I have to concentrate on telling you guys. So anyways, we picked her up, and she was working at the mall at the time. I don't know about right now. I don't know where she's working at. And then after we watched the movie, we went out to eat. Okay, I'm just gonna apply my setting powder, and I'm using the La Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Okay, so if in case you're wondering, with a fluffy brush, and there you go. Okay, and it's really hard. Oh my lord, you don't know how hard it is. If you have a table, you got it made. So, and yeah, so at the end of the first date, obviously, you know, we did kiss too. You know, that's normal, you know, that happened on the first date. Okay, so there you go. That was the end of the first date. So I'm going to tell you the story how he proposed. So we went to Palermo's restaurant, and I'm getting my fluffy brush by Eco Tools, and this one It's the Double Wear Stay in Place Powder Makeup. Yeah. So anyways, and I'm just gonna apply it on my face. He took me to the restaurant, right? I ordered lasagna, but it was a lot of food, so I told him, hey, do you want to share the food with me? And he's like, yeah. I was noticing he wasn't eating, and I'm like, huh, you know, what's going on? And he said, oh, it's nothing. But I knew he was like hiding something, but he didn't want to tell me. So I was like, okay, whatever. Didn't think too much of it. Then he said, okay, I'm gonna take you out for a drive. I'm like, okay, where at? And he said, oh, let's go to the beach. And I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, so my husband, he drove to the beach, and he said, oh, you know, let's get off the car and let's walk. And I'm like, okay. And we walked. Didn't think too much of it. And then he got down on one knee and he proposed. Obviously, I did cry. You know, he was nervous when he proposed, but I knew he was very sincere. So I knew he was the guy for me. So yeah. And then I'm just gonna contour a little bit my nose, because I don't like it when my nose is not contoured. I don't know if it's just me. So again, I'm just gonna go with Tarte and the 217 by MAC. Contouring the sides, I'm not contouring too much. Then I'm just gonna go back with the Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna go and brush it off the middle and the center. Okay, that's it. So he proposed, and after he proposed, we were obviously engaged, and we were engaged for many years after that. And then we got married May 21st 2011. Okay, now before you get married, there are a lot of things you need to know. Let's talk about bride experiences. Okay, before that, we're just gonna get a spoolie and an angled brush. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the spoolie from MAC. This is the 204, and the small angled brush from MAC, the 208. And I'm just gonna do my eyebrows using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Chalk. First and foremost, you need to have your date. For us, for my husband and I, at the time when we were engaged, we were supposed to get married in August, because it was between August and September, but we decided in August. We didn't tell any of our friends and our family relatives except for my mom. I think I told my mom and my brother and my husband, and obviously my fiance at the time, my husband. And the thing is that I got pregnant, you know, so obviously we needed to push the date closer. And that's something that happened with me, you know, that I'm not saying that it can happen with everyone, but it happened to me. It's best that you have your date when you want to get married in advance. Preferably, they say more than a year. That didn't happen to me, so I felt I was a little bit lucky. But yeah, you shouldn't have a problem if you're trying to book like a vendors or your church or your reception. Yeah, I booked first the church, then the reception. Okay, so in case you're wondering how did I book it, I did it all by myself, and I booked the church first, and then the reception, because I needed to speak with the pastor. And the pastor needs to, especially if you're gonna get married at a church, the priest or the pastor needs to counsel you as a couple, and they need to speak with you about marriage and how it's going to be. You understand? Okay. Not to get too much into it, but you know what I'm saying, like, not that we had issues. No, but the pastor needs to speak with you as a couple, okay, before he weds you. And at the time, I was Catholic, but then I decided, and this was my own personal decision, not nobody else's. I decided that it was best that, since I was pregnant and we were gonna have a baby soon, that both of us as a couple have the same religion to raise our children. Personal choice that I made when it came to my religion. Not to say that you have to do it, but that's something that I did, you know. So I went from being Catholic to being Christian. And yeah, the pastor, he gave his blessing, and yeah, that was it. But I highly recommend book your church first, then your reception. And once you have, you know, everything is in line with you guys, you know, whoever your partner may be, just make sure you have your vendor already set up for your reception as well, because you want those to have the same date. Another thing I want to talk about is, you know how a lot of couples, when they announce their engagements, they do an engagement photography announcement, you know. We didn't have that, and the reason why is because the photographer that I chose, the first one, he didn't show up. I'm just gonna do the second eyebrow. I'm sorry if I'm getting involved into the story, but you guys need to know, always have a plan A, B, and C, because you just never know. For instance, for myself, I don't have an engagement photos. And why? Because I should have done that a long time ago, and I didn't. And why? Because I procrastinated. And another thing is, do not procrastinate on things of your wedding. Please don't do that. Take advice from me, you know, from someone who already got married and went through it. And you know what I told the guy, the photographer? I told him, you know what? I'm firing you. I don't need this. I told Paul, imagine, love, I told him, if it's our wedding and there's no pictures, what am I going to do? You know, it's like, it was so like, I was so upset, and I'm still upset about it, but there's nothing I can do about it now, you know what I'm saying? So just learn from me. Learn from my mistakes, so that way, I'm telling you this story so that way you won't make the same mistakes. So that's what happened, and I called someone else who is an amazing photographer. If you're here in LA, at the Wilshire district, it's between Wilshire and Western. It's a wedding gown place and brides and everything, whatever. It's photography and everything. She's there, Janie Lee. And I don't know if she has her website still, but I remember years ago she did. So if I can find it on Google, I'll link it down below, okay, for you guys. But she's amazing. She's the one who, when I took the pictures with my husband, that's like a little frame that they gave us, and those are pictures. You see, she even asked me, do you want only color, black and white, or both? And I asked for both. So make sure that you do ask for both. I highly recommend that you do black and white and also color. And also, if you are gonna have her, Janie, she's amazing, she pushes you. That day is the most photographed day of your life, they say, and it's true. Because I had to even tell her, I'm sorry, Janie, I need to take a little mini break just so I can drink water. And I didn't even sit down. I think the only time I sat down was in the reception with my husband, because I told her, you know what, I need water, and they need to fix my maid of honor, my best friend Claudia. I told her, can you please fix my gown? My tail was the back of my dress was too long, and I needed to get it fixed. And thank God for her. Anyways, long story short, get a good photographer. That's what I'm saying. And I highly recommend her, okay? And also, invitations. Let's talk about invitations right now. The same day that the photographer flaked out on us, on my husband and I went to Larchmont, because that's where my mom and my dad, they chose my invitations for my quinceañera. So I said, you know what? My mom had a good experience. Let me go there, because I called my mom and I told her my situation, and she's like, you know what? Go there. It's in Larchmont Village. In my wedding invitation, the front of it, it had a picture of my husband and I when we were engaged, though. So yeah, but it was in black and white. That's what we did. And I'm just adding blush. I'm sorry if I'm everywhere right now. And this one is Delicioso Pink by Milani. Okay, so it's just a pink blush, but I love that one. Yeah, it looks really nice. Because I really want to give you guys like tips and talk about my experience too, because it's such, like, it can be like a pain in the butt when you're trying to get these vendors, right? And they're like, some of them flake on you. Some of them, I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying that I had an experience that someone did flake on me. So just learn from me, okay? Don't do the same mistake as myself. Not having no engagement pictures at all. You don't want that. If that's something that you want, please learn from me, okay? Okay, next thing that we're gonna do, what am I gonna do next? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do I did my eyebrows, right? Yeah, you see I'm involved really in this this video. Let's do eyeshadow base, and I'm gonna use the eyeshadow base I'm gonna use right now is from Urban Decay, and it's in Eden. So I like this one. I like the wand too, because it makes it much more easier for me to use. So yeah, so I'm apply it all over the eyelid. Let's talk about, when it comes to weddings, is your florist. You need to know that flowers are expensive. Did you understand what I said? Flowers are not cheap unless you're gonna do silk. I know a big beauty guru here. It's Judy time. When she got married, she had silk roses and they look beautiful. You have that option, okay? So just because you're on a budget and you're like, oh well, maybe I can't have real flowers. Yes, you can have real flowers, okay? Just see if you have a friend who's a florist. And I was lucky enough to have my flowers done at Gelson's Market. I had them done right here at Silverlake and Los Felix, okay? So it's expensive though, let me be honest with you, but they were fresh. And my centerpieces, you know how some centerpieces you get to choose high and low? I did all high because I didn't want any of my guests to say, oh, this table has a low, a little centerpiece. Well, that table has a high centerpiece. I didn't want that. Yeah, so there you go. And I was supposed to get orchids. Those were supposed to be my centerpiece flower arrangement. But knowing how much orchids are, it would have cost an arm and a leg. So she said, you know what, Barbara, you should choose a different centerpiece. Okay, so that was a picture of my centerpiece, and it's beautiful, right? He was amazing, the guy who did my floral centerpieces, and also Leilani. I know Leilani watches me. Hey, girl. And she works for Gelson's. So make sure you know your flowers. I would say that too. Make sure you know that flowers are not cheap, but you can make a cute or a pretty centerpiece on a budget. You don't have to make it all like grandeur, you know, like you don't have to make it like a like myself. Like I went above and beyond. I think I wanted that for my wedding. So anyways, I'm just gonna go with my MAC quad. I'm gonna use Blanc type all over the eyelid with the 227 by MAC, okay? And I'm gonna tap off most of it. This eyeshadow you have to, you know, you just have to know how to work with it. That's what I think. And yeah, so for my bridesmaid I used white roses, and then for my bouquet it was peonies, both white and pink peonies, okay? And I'm gonna include another picture right now of my flowers, okay? Yeah, this is one thing you need to know. If you think you want candles in your reception, you have to be aware that some restaurants, like my restaurant, they told me that I needed the okay for the fire department of Marina Del Rey. And Marina Del Rey Fire Department is next to the Shanghai Ritz. Right now it's under a different management, and it's under a different name. So I'll have the link down below to that restaurant. Of the reason that I couldn't have candles in my reception, she told me, okay, we're gonna use LED lights, and she put 2 or 3, I don't remember how many LED lights she put in the centerpieces down below with cold water. I think that's what they use, water, yeah. And to make it look like it had ice, she grabbed she told me this tip. She got the clear wrapping paper, you know, that wrapping paper that you use for gifting people. She used that one to put inside the vase so it can look like it's ice. It's really cool. Putting soft brown on the crease right now. Going for something simple, okay? I'm sorry if I'm very concentrating on this story for you guys, okay? In my experience, because I wanna make sure if you know, if anyone can watch my video and I hope they can learn something from me, you know. The eyeliner that I'm gonna use is from MAC. It's the Pro Longwear Fluid Line in Black Track, okay? And it's very soft. It's a very soft eyeliner, I feel, and it looks very natural, okay? And I'm gonna use the MAC 210. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Hopefully I can do this. Okay, so we talked about photography. We already talked about florist. Let's talk about your cake. This weekend, my husband and I, this week for sure, the way we're gonna celebrate our wedding anniversary, we decided that we're gonna go to the place where our cake was done, and it was made at the bakery, and it was done in Melrose, and it's called the Sweet Lady, okay? Now this baker is known here in LA. A few of the celebrities of the cakes is Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, and I know Ella DeGeneres. So those are a few if you're wondering about the cake. The cake was amazing. It was 4 layers. I'm gonna include the picture right now. First layer was wild berries. The second layer was coconut. The third layer was German chocolate. And the fourth layer was, I think it was Persian chocolate. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. But it was some type of chocolate. But I just can't recall the name. It wasn't cheap, okay? Now, I don't know if it included, I think the flowers. I don't know if I paid her for the flowers or my florist. I wasn't sure. I don't remember now. But the flowers in the cake, that's extra, I think. I'm not sure. I don't even remember. If, let's say, it's your wedding and you want real flowers in your cake, because mine weren't artificial, they were real. She does have a florist who's a friend of hers, I think, and works with her. Yeah. So, yeah, and they do deliver it. If it's free or they charge you for the delivery. I can't even recall anymore. But it was a delicious cake, and that's where we're going to go. Yeah. For our wedding anniversary this year. So exciting, huh? Okay, we talked about the cake. Oh yeah, guess what? Our wedding cake topper fell at our wedding. Yeah, it was by accident, and the reason why I feel is because the baker did tell me that the cake does start melting. So just know that, you know, make sure if you do put a topper, make sure you put it real in, okay, on top of your cake, so your wedding cake topper doesn't flop and break. Okay, we talked about the cake. Let's move on. Let's talk about the wedding gown and the veil. Okay, so I'm gonna go back with this one right here. Did go to David's Bridal, and there was a gown that I really love. It was a one shoulder one, and my best friend had told me, Barbara, do you like the one shoulder? I'm like, no, I wanted to get it. They were about to custom make my bridal gown, but then she told me, Barbara, what if you don't like it? So she gave me, that's the good thing about having not only a best friend, she was my coworker at the time, my best friend, and also my maid of honor, Claudia. And she said, Barbara, maybe you won't even like it once you look at it. And thank God for her advice, you know, at least she was honest with me. So that's something that you need to take into consideration, although you may not want to hear it as a bride. I wasn't a bridezilla, thank God I wasn't that, but because I think I was pregnant at the time. I couldn't be playing. I wouldn't be that. But just don't stress yourself over it too much, especially about the gown. I would say just go with whatever makes you feel happy, whatever makes you feel comfortable too. Just remember, gowns are very, very heavy. My gown was made out of tulle. It had lace, it had beadings. It was very heavy. And then you have to wear your undergarment inside, and on top of that you have to wear something to make it fluffy. I don't remember the name of that thing. It's a material thing. I'm sure someone who knows about wedding gowns knows the name of that. And I got my wedding gown at, it begins with the letter A, so I'm gonna include it right now, the name of the place where I got my gown right there. And it was close to the Beverly Center too, okay? So yeah, and you also need to make sure, oh my Lord, that the veil is gonna be heavy too. Don't forget that, okay? Because your wedding gown is so tiring, right, to wear, because it's so heavy. I would say also take sandals with you, or tennis shoes, or anything that makes you feel comfortable, okay? So don't forget to do that on your wedding day. And my maid of honor, my friend Claudia, she said, you know, I'm gonna give you these shoes, and those are ones that you can buy at CVS and Rite Aid, and they're pink, and I still have them, and I still use them. And those are meant for your feet, you know, once you get tired of dancing and whatnot, because you are gonna get tired that day, okay? So that's a little tip right there for all my brides. And if you are getting married, congratulations. Yeah, and if you're engaged and you're about to get married, woo, it's exciting, huh? It's so exciting. I couldn't even sleep the night before. I was so happy and excited to get married, I remember. And I would say also, if you're gonna go get your wedding veil and your gown, always try to get as many people as you can, so that they can see your gown and they can say, like, yeah, that looks nice on you, or no, that doesn't look nice on you. You know what I'm saying? So I would suggest that you do that. Wedding gowns are not cheap. My wedding gown was expensive. I can't even recall to the exact penny how much it was, but I know it wasn't cheap. And they have to alterate your wedding gown, so make sure you to save money for that too as well, because they have to do that. Okay. And by the way, a lot of brides, they get tanning the day before or the week of. I did get a spray tan, just to let you know, if in case, you know, my video that I'll link it down below of my wedding. It's a picture slideshow with a little bit of music in the background. If in case I look different, it's because obviously this is my skin tone. And the day before I got a spray tan. It was a natural spray tan that I got, and it was the last time I did that. My best friend, she's like, are you gonna get a tan? I'm like, sure. And not knowing that I was gonna get a real tan, you know. So I would recommend that you spray tan before your wedding, like way before your wedding. Test it out, see if you like it on yourself, because then you can't, you know, you can't go back. Okay, so there you go. I did my eyeliner, thank God. I think we did talk about church, huh? Yeah, that you have to book it before your ceremony. I highly recommend that you do that, because you don't want to have your ceremony and no church, unless you're gonna do both your ceremony and your reception at the same place. Then that's another option you can do. And they had that option at Shanghai Reds, but I decided not to, because I really wanted the church with my husband. Yeah, but there you go. I'm using the Pro Curler from Lancome, and I do like it. And I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt. This one is in waterproof. Make sure you give your guests options when it comes to food, you know, unless you're gonna do buffet. They do have the option of buffet, and the buffet is amazing too, just to let you know. But because it was a wedding, we didn't want to do that. Okay. And we had the budget and the money to do the more expensive, which was serving per plate. But just know that serving per plate is not cheap. I think like around $80 or more than that per person. Okay. And does not include the fee of the down payment, and it does not include also the bartender. The bartender was extra. Okay, so for us, we had cocktail hours. You know how there's different cocktail hours, 1 hour to 3. The maximum was 3 hours, but we didn't want to do 3 hours. We didn't want to do 1 hour, because some of our guests, they said that they were gonna come out late because they had to they were getting out of their jobs late. So my mom and I, we were talking about it, right? Because her and I, we talked a lot about the wedding, and she said, what about we do 2 hours? So in those 2 hours, our guests, they had their cocktails, which means is their drinks, alcoholic drinks and non-beverage alcoholic drinks as well. And we had a juice station, cappuccino station. We had our bartender, and our bartender was in the gazebo outside. It was so beautiful, and he was serving the drinks. That was the reception. And yeah, it was really, the food was amazing. And I think what did I eat that day at the wedding? I ate chicken. Yeah, I think if I can go back in time, I would have chosen beef, but I wanted chicken at the time. So I'm just gonna use my Lash Discovery by Maybelline. Looks like this. Okay, I'm sorry. And it has a little wand like so. Anyways, there you go. I added my mascara, very little, not too much. None of it transferred. And now I need to make sure I'm doing everything correctly with my makeup. Let's see. I was debating which one to use, with liquid lipstick, posy or candy cane. I'm like, should I do this or should I do that? I think this one will look prettier, no? Posy cane? Let's do posy cane. So at the reception, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about my wedding, is they have a valet. Okay, so you get off the car, and it's so beautiful. Before you even enter the restaurant, it's the shape of it when you enter it, it's like an L shape, and it's a bridge, and you're crossing, and when you cross over the bridge, they have water, but it has koi fish, and then it's greenery, and water was coming down, and it looks so beautiful. It wasn't raining. It's just a beautiful place to have your wedding. Okay, so I'm just gonna add the lip liner right now. So yeah, if you're planning your wedding and you're like thinking about it, you should definitely have it there. I have done a video on this, okay, like review swatch video, if in case you're wondering, on the Kylie lip kits. that's it. This is the makeup look. I love it. It's something I've been doing recently, so I wanted to turn on the camera and just film it, you know, record it for you guys, because I know you guys like get ready with me videos, and I haven't done one in a while. So yeah, I hope I gave you advice based on my wedding experience, and hopefully you don't go through what I went through when it came to that photographer who flaked on us. Every wedding is beautiful, and I know I had a beautiful wedding. Yeah, everything went smoothly. Yeah, so I'm happy for that. So yeah, so let me include a few pictures that are funny that I think you guys are gonna enjoy, because I'm a very private person and I feel that I don't share enough with you guys, you know, about my personal life. Well, this I don't mind sharing, obviously. I'm gonna take so many pictures of you. Imagine this was me before, okay? So if I look different, it's because I obviously had a spray tan. And look at me, this me before, okay? And that was me getting ready. And yeah, you can tell the photographer I wasn't mean or rude. I just told Janie, I'm sorry Janie, but I don't feel comfortable putting my gown on and you taking a picture. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know if she did or she didn't. I can't recall. Maybe she did, but I don't remember anymore. But I was pregnant, okay? So hence I was curvier. And yeah, I was tanner there. Yeah, so there you go. And my makeup, by the way, it was done by one of my friends. She has a makeup artist and she did it for me. So yay. And okay, let me show you other pictures that I have, okay? Oh, this is my mom. My mom and I, right here. Don't I look like her? Yeah, so that's her. And then let's see. Oh, we had our pictures taken after the church ceremony. We had our pictures taken in front of the Disney Hall, okay? Because we were supposed to have it initially. We wanted it to have it at in mission style churches, yeah, but it was too far, the distance from the reception to the mission churches, so we decided on Disney Hall, and she gave that option to us, okay? Underneath the veil, isn't that pretty? Okay, and then okay, oh, this is one of my best friends, and we called ourselves, it's so, oh Lord, when you're a teacher it's so funny, but my friend came up with this name for our, we had a name. We call ourselves the ABC crew, you know. So there is, now I'm telling you the backstory of why I always, at the end of my videos, I always put Love B, and it's because my friend, this is my friend Anna, and she passed away last year in April. Her first letter is A, stands for Anna, obviously. My first letter of my name is B, so it's Barbara, obviously, and that's my best friend, and that's Claudia. And her first letter begins with the letter C, so we're the ABC crew. So there you go, that's a little story for you guys to, I don't know, it's so cool to tell you the story of why I call myself B at the end, or why people call me B, okay? And then let's see, I'm just gonna give you snippets, not everything, okay? Oh, at the reception, because I was expecting, I wasn't drinking champagne, I drank apple cider. And my husband did drink champagne though. But there you go. This is the bride and groom champagne flutes, okay? And we still have it, and every year we pop our apple cider. We don't drink champagne, obviously, because we have our son. But he had his champagne. You can see the bubbles, and mine's right there is the apple cider. That's cute, huh? She used to be my student, okay? In a different school. And that's her sister right here. And that's my husband, obviously. He's throwing the garter. You can barely see the garter right here when she barely catched it right here, the garter, as my husband is throwing it, and everybody's looking at it. Trying to catch it, right? Everybody's trying to catch it. And then who caught it? My brother caught it. So that was the funny moment. I thought that was really cute. When I was waiting for my best friend to come back, I think she went to the restroom. I don't know what she did. And I was waiting for her, and we were all waiting for her, and the DJ was calling out her name. And I was about to throw the, you know how you're supposed to throw your bouquet, but not your wedding bouquet. The bouquet that goes to the church, that's not the one that I threw. It was a different one. It was the extra one, and it was with peonies right there. It's white with pink, and that was me. And the lady you see right here, there is a picture. If you go to the wedding slide video, you'll see that there is a picture of two ladies like going at it, like for the bouquet. It's funny. Any photographer, you want to make sure you mesh with them and that you get along with them and that you're cool with them, and that they also understand that they're gonna push you. That day you are gonna be pushing. You think only one picture is enough? No, Janie wasn't like that. She was like, Barbara, again, more smile, more smile. She would tell me, Paul, again. She was amazing. So I love her. Thank God she pushed me. Some of the pictures you'll see that she took multiple pictures, but in the video you'll see it, if in case you want to go. It's in the link down below. Okay everyone, so that was it. That was my long get ready with me video. Thank you so much for watching up to right now. And if I can give any tips to a bride based on my experience, it would be, if in case something does happen that you think is bad or went wrong, don't focus on the negativity. For instance, for our wedding, my husband and I, our cake topper fell. Did I focus on that? No, I didn't. I was like wondering what happened to it, but I didn't stress myself over it. You know what I'm saying? Life will go on. Be in the moment. Enjoy being a bride. And yeah, and enjoy your gifts too. Because I remember when we came home, that's the first thing we did. We opened our gifts. Yeah. So that was it. I hope you guys liked this get ready with me video. I know it was a long one. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try my best to cut it down. Hopefully I did. If not, hopefully you had your food or your snack to watch this video. And don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. It's free. And make sure you turn on your notifications because it lets you know when my next video comes up, okay? And then don't forget to comment down below if you are planning to get married, or maybe you were married. What was your experience being a bride, and how was your wedding? Because I love to talk about weddings. The only last thing I want to talk about is, for wedding anniversary, the only thing we're going to do is just go to the bakery and have cake. That's it. It's simple. Nothing, you know, nothing extraordinary. But yeah, that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to comment down below and give me a thumbs up, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. It is going to be a review and demo most likely, and bye.